What's poppin', guys, and welcome to the first episode of the RML Show for the year 2021. So, with the long and rough year that 2020 was now finally in the rearview mirror, we can now look forward to a new, fresh year that 2021 is. However, we must be careful not to fall into the same trap that we do each year by thinking that since it's a new year, you suddenly turn into some type of superhuman and plan on accomplishing hella unattainable goals. That's why, to kick off this year, I have on the show a very special guest to help you actually crush your 2021 goals. He's an entrepreneur, ex-UAAP athlete, and productivity addict, Jico Cruz. In this episode, we'll talk about some of his many businesses, such as Building Titans, FWD Life Insurance, and many more. We also talk about how he altered his mindset through adversity over the years, what he does to stay on top of all of his many businesses, and the fundamental steps to both structuring and executing your yearly goals. I hope you all enjoy and learn from this episode with Jico Cruz. So let's cut the BS and let's head on to the episode.
That was a hoot!
What is poppin', and welcome to the Rocka's Modern Life Show. My name is Rocka, future veterinarian, ex-varsity athlete, and dude who loves to talk about all things hot in PH pop culture. Despite the name, the show ain't about me, but truly about the unique things that my guests bring to the table, while also providing some quality kalokohan. So buckle up and let's get rockin'. Before we start the show, I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Jade's Temple. Yup, Jade's Temple is back and better than ever. Get all of your favorite specialty flavored beers such as the Toasted Mallow and Salted Caramel brews. Flavored beer ain't for you? No problem. They have a wide variety of cocktails such as the Maya Margarita, Tarsier Martini, and the Pawikan Mojito. Order now and get a 15% discount using promo code ROCKASModernLife. Yes sir, legit na po tayo with a promo code. Order any of your favorite beers or cocktails from Jade's Temple with a 15% discount using our promo code ROCKASModernLife. Now, let's get into the episode. What's up, guys, and welcome to the very first episode of the season 3 of the Rocka's Modern Life podcast. So crazy that we reached season 3 already. And I have on today a very special guest, Mr. Jico or Jose Cruz. What's up, man? Introduce yourself, your profession, and your favorite book of 2020.
All good, all good. My name is Jico Cruz. What's up, guys? I'm an entrepreneur and financial advisor for FWD. Siguro favorite book for 2020 is Relentless by Tim Grover.
Yeah, dude, that book is crazy. Like, I remember reading that when I was in playing for UAAP. And the perfect way to describe it, it's kind of like pre-workout in words forms.
Yeah, true.
Right? It's like when you're reading it, like after you read one chapter, like, taka na gusto ko mag-gym, dude.
Yeah, boy!
Nagbuhat agad eh.
Yeah, you get like super hyped. But yeah, I can completely relate with you. I read that book, and he was the trainer, right, of MJ and Kobe and
Yeah, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade. Yeah, is he still a trainer now? Would you know?
Not sure actually.
Not
Parang
sure.
last yata si Kobe D. Wade. I think nag-try siya sa iba pero hindi as sikat with Kobe D. Wade and Jordan for sure.
Yeah, I think you need to have like a certain mentality talaga to work for Tim Grover, no? It's
Yeah,
like
true.
you need to be a cleaner, bro. You need to be a cleaner.
I like what he said. Nakita mo yung interview na parang MJ, or I think MJ told Kobe about him na he's the asshole, something like that. And he felt good about it because he's not just an asshole, he's the asshole. That's why he's standing out.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
definitely.
solid mentality.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one really else out there like Kobe, and we'll definitely be talking about Kobe later on in the conversation outline. But for now, for all my fans, aka my friends and family that listen to this podcast,
Why are you crying?
You know what's coming. You know what's coming. And it's the question, what's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
So, Jico, what's poppin', brother?
So right now, since walang basketball, I used to play basketball almost every day. Now I'm trying to venture out to different sports. So I don't know, I'm trying to be active because it helps with work and everything that you're doing. So I'm trying to learn how to play football actually. So Cuenca for fun lang, random
Like
kicks and then
American or like soccer football?
soccer football.
Okay, dope.
And then yeah, running siguro. Today I actually went cycling with my friends for first time lang. Pagod though, puta. And yeah, reading books and trying to work on building titans. Zobel Archers, hopefully, if tuloy na yung league this year, like the vaccine comes and we can play basketball again. And then yeah, FWD.
That's awesome, man. It sounds very busy, and it sounds like you're really maximizing the time during this pandemic. But yeah, it's great to know that you've been doing well. I've been also trying to keep myself busy, trying to read a little bit more. I mean, I'm not really that much of a reader. I've been trying. Like last year, I think I finished like about 5 books. That's like a huge dub now for me. So this year I'm trying to go for 12, and maybe I could, steal some tips from you on how to incorporate reading into my daily routine.
So yeah, wait, go. What books did you read?
Okay, so last year I read School of Greatness by Lewis House. He's another podcaster and self-help book. I watched I read Rhino with shoe glues on, which is more of like for my profession, veterinary practice. So it's like wildlife vets. Then I did Atomic Habits. I did Path Made Clear, that fifth one. Oh, I didn't get to finish that fifth one, pala.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
I'm still reading it right now. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. Amazing book.
Yeah, solid din.
Super good. He tells a story like no other. He's a really good narrator. It's like you can almost visualize like what he was going through.
Yun siguro, I think a tip would be, ikaw, what made you read those books? Like, why did you stumble upon them? What made you read them?
Okay, well for Lewis House, I listen to his podcast a lot. He's one of the guys that got me into self-help in general by listening to his podcast. So I thought that by reading his book it would be, I mean, I enjoyed the content that he put out, so I assumed that I enjoy the book that he put out as well, and I really did. Then for Rhino with Shoe Glues on, sorry, excuse me, with Rhino with Shoe Glues on, I'm thinking of being a wildlife veterinarian. Actually, I'm not really sure if that's the path exactly of veterinary that I want to go down, but I've always been that type of kid, amused with Animal Planet, Nat Geo. So like, it's worth a shot. So I just wanted to like get a better understanding of what exactly these wildlife vets have to do on a day-to-day basis. And for Shoe Dog is because I've heard countless times it's one of the best books, and Nike's an empire of athletic gear. So that's pretty much the reason why I wanted to read it.
Yun, siguro those are my tips. Like, you answered it actually. Yung, when you're reading something, you look back, why am I reading this? What's this for? What do I want to accomplish with this? And for sure, may mga boring parts of book. Pero when you go back to those, okay, I'm reading this because I want to do this. I want to do the Nat Geo thing. I want to explore and improve myself more. I want to learn from Nike, Shoe Dog. But yun siguro for me, it's the number one tip. Like, you remember why you're reading, why you're doing something. And it helps you get through it, get through the pages.
Definitely. All right. Yeah. I think that's something good to keep in mind because, as you're reading, you tend to forget, why you even started. So I think it's important, yun nga, to realize why exactly, what made you want to start in the first place. So thanks for that, dog. And my goal for this year is 12 books with school. So
Nice.
It's not much. It's just one book a month. Pero kaya yan, no? Kaya yan. Like, just gotta believe. All right. So, why don't we get into the meat of the show? So, as you mentioned earlier, you are an entrepreneur. You have a lot of things in your plate that you do on a day-to-day basis, whether that's exercise, whether that's your job, or whether that's reading, like you mentioned earlier. So I guess to start things off, I want to ask you, what are some of the projects that you are investing your time in this 2021?
Number one for sure is myself, trying to work on improving myself, like physically, mentally, emotionally, trying to maximize everything. Because we ain't getting young, we're getting old. And eventually, you're gonna be on our own. So might as well improve ourselves, like day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour. At least try to be the best versions of ourselves. Because we only have one life to live. So I guess that's my first project. And then second is building titans. And then third is Zobel Archers, hopefully, if wala nang pandemic and vaccine arrives na. And then yeah, FWD Life, trying to work on financial advising and then financial planning as well.
Awesome, man. I guess for the listeners that don't know what Building Titans is, why don't you give them a little preview of what exactly is the goal or purpose of Building Titans and what it is?
So it's a community basically on Facebook. And like the mission of it is for each individual to find his or her way in becoming a titan in their respective industry. The pilot, veterinarian, doctor, engineer, entrepreneur, whatever it is, you try to become the best at it, try to become a titan in your industry. And through personal development, through people sharing the different ways of success. Because you only know your perspective. When you get to listen from other people, that's when you get to learn na, okay, ito pala yun, this is what works for him. Okay, this is what works for her. So for me, that's how it is. Kasi pandemic tayo, so might as well like help people or like help people grow, help people learn instead of like being on social media, being negative and everything. Because sobrang daming negative. Every day there's another negative thing to do. And for me, it's the energy that you bring in, whether it's just a text, whether it's just a like, whether it's just a comment. You have to be parang careful of it. You have to be aware of it. Okay, I want to grow. So yun yung naisip ko, make a community out of it. Make a community that can help people. Honestly, it wasn't my idea. It was my mentor's idea. He just went up to me. And I was G with it because when Kobe died, I was like, shit, we only have one life to live. And he's super my idol. So might as well make the best out of my life and help the people I care about get that as well. So yun, basically that's it.
Awesome, man. And I think it's great that, I was lucky enough to be added into the page. Thanks for that. Or I don't know if it was you or KBBQ. But I love the energy of that group. It's just always so progressive and really aiming towards helping other people. And I want to ask, like, what do you want the end goal to be of building titans? That, like, let's say, like, hypothetically 5 years down the line, what would you want it to be, or are you content at where it is now?
Of course not. I'm not content with where it is now. Siguro, what I want to be is people to really connect with each other. People there, like at least someone helping create business with each other, or help someone actually parang improve whatever they're doing. So yung real connections, siguro yun yung parang end goal of it. It's not just someone just liked your post. But I want people to really connect with each other. I want people to have real relationships with each other, real adding value. Yun siguro yung end goal. Siguro it'd be great if everyone knows each other. So already before the pandemic though, we could have a gathering, people could learn like face to face with each other.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully when that vaccine comes in, we could all have that Building Titans seminar / party. that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
5 years. In 5 years.
Yeah.
That could be great.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. But yeah, I love how it's a great community that's focused on helping each other become that personal titan and personal mastery through leadership and skill building. Because as much as you want to do things on your own, you kind of need other people to give you whether it's feedback or insights, kind of just to help you grow also. So I think that's a fantastic group. And for any of the listeners that are interested in joining Building Titans, feel free to message Jico or myself, and I'm gonna try my best. No promises here. I ain't no admin, but I'm gonna try to hook you up. Although Jico seems like the type of dude who has it all figured out, he wasn't always like this. Back in LaSalle Zobel, he was your stereotypical basketball athlete, primarily focused on hooping and girls while academics took a back seat. Didn't care much for financial planning at all and spent most of his savings on fresh apparel and partying. But that all changed around his senior year in high school, where unfortunately his grandmother fell seriously ill, and to add fuel to this horrible fire, his dad's business went down south. And no, not the Alabang type of south. This forced Jico to go to UP, a college and degree he didn't want, and learn an entirely new sport he was not even passionate about just to get admitted to the school. Here, he experienced some of his lowest points in his life, wherein he could have easily just quit and spiraled down into a depression. But instead, he chose to turn this adversity into motivation and put him in the upward trajectory towards success. Like you mentioned earlier also, you are doing FWD Life. So from my understanding, it's financial planning and insurance.
Yep.
So I guess for those who are interested, why don't you kind of give them a brief description of what you guys have to offer?
So basically, it's like offering knowledge to people to be smarter with their finances. Remember what I told you kanina sa books, diba? You have to remember why you're doing it. So for me personally, why I'm doing it, because I went through those hard times before. Because coming from high school, everything was going well in high school. Zobel, family was spoiling me and everything. So originally I wanted to go to Taft because all of my friends went there. But yun nga, my dad's business went south, my lola got sick. I experienced that financial hardship. So that's my reason why I'm doing it. I don't want anyone to experience that because my lola wasn't insured and my dad didn't have savings or investments. So that's basically what we offer. Financial planning, like really allocating your budget, being smart with it, and putting it where you can have the right foundations so that regardless of what happens, like COVID, dami nawalan ng job, diba?
Mm-hmm.
So if you know how to manage it wisely, you won't have to worry. You can just use that money that you saved or you invested before to get you through and find another job. So like for me, as right now, trying to save as much, trying to invest as much, and protect myself as early as possible. Para kunyari, I have kids or me in the future, they won't have to experience what I experienced before. So yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah, damn, that's some great motive, and I can honestly really relate with you too, because like myself, I galing din ako sa Ateneo High School, so private school also, and I could definitely say that I was very sheltered and spoiled also by my family, and my dad's business also went down south around 2016, and it was like when I was in UP already as well, and it was really like a humbling experience for me, and I got to see the perspective of how things really are and what life I thought I was living back then, and how it's really all just a perception of things. And I would actually want to ask you next, like, for FWD Life, is it really just for those that are earning steady income, or do you think you could provide services also for students or people that are in entry level jobs as well?
Pwede din actually, kasi there are different options. So like basing on your, like with me personally, I try to look at their budget first before I offer anything. Parang kung pasok ba, if kaya ba nila. So different, merong mura lang para you get insured right away. So it's not you na parang you want to close a big sale, it's never that. You have to understand who you're talking to, if kaya ba nila, or if they need ba talaga, like what if they're covered na, what if they have investments na, and they don't need it. At least you told them about it, you reviewed them about it again. Pero it's always to the person you're talking to. It's never you trying to close a big sale.
I see. Well, that's great, man. And if there are any listeners out there that want to be a little bit smarter with their money, you know where to find Jico. I'll be plugging him later for sure. And yeah, I guess from moving, like you mentioned earlier about we both did, about the tough times that we experienced, And I guess I just want to ask, what was your tipping point that led you to where you are today? Because, I met you in high school and I met you in college as well. And, my cousin was your teammate in high school. My neighbor was your teammate in high school. And they've all said that you went through a pretty drastic character change over the past couple of years. So I think this would be very interesting I thought it would be very interesting for me to ask, like, was there a specific moment that caused the tipping point, or was it like a gradual change and evolution throughout time?
For me, madami siyang events a series of events siya. So like, kunyari, with saving, protecting, and invest early as one of my principles. That one, for sure, yung experiencing life na I couldn't go to Taft, I couldn't, or like experiencing life in UP na my days na I just eat fucking shawmai rice, bro. For
It's
the
called
whole
my
fucking
baby.
day.
Represent for all the UP peeps. You know what's up with that. It's called my rice.
A
35
series of
bucks.
events. Or like you'll see your roommates going out because they have money to go out. And me, I'd just be stuck in the dorm. So madami siya. It's not one event specifically. It's a series of events. So like kunyari, with, let's say, my mentality of never stop learning and never stop growing. So I realized that in high school as well, like basketball. Like that's why it's important for me to never stop learning and never stop growing. Because when I was playing basketball, it got to my head. Instead of doing the work, like doing the extra work, doing the extra shots, I end up going to parties, sign up ng chick, sign up ng sino pwede momol. Mga ganong shit. So,
Tipong high school shit, bro. I mean, it is what it is. We're not proud of it, but I mean, it was a thing. It was a thing. Like the testosterone took over. But I'll let you continue.
So yeah, pagdating ng fourth year, we didn't get to place. I mean, I can say that it was on us, the seniors, because it got to our head. We were really enjoying the external glory that went with it, and not really focusing on the actual goal while we're here. So that's another tipping point for me. Another series of event for me made me reflect. So yun talaga, like losing everything, losing things that you had, losing the things that you thought you had, it makes you reflect, like, holy shit.
No, I mean, I completely agree with you. Like, that's really all you can say sometimes. Like, holy shit, like, really puts things into perspective. I mean, like, I brushed up upon it earlier about how we had a crisis also back in 2016, and I was in UP, and almost every meal was either iskomay or like ipil with ulam and two rice, and especially like, chili na lang, baby. Swerte ka kung may nor dun sa tindahan, pero it really was what it was, and like that's one of the things that I love about UP, because it really puts things into perspective. Because us, especially here in Manila, we live in such a small bubble. We think that this is our entire world. And then you go into UP and you see Pinoys from all walks of life. And, it's all the extremes, from people writing their notes on Jario or use yellow pad, and all the way to the other side when you see kids with bodyguards walking around UP. So it's really just an eye-opening experience. And I know for me personally, if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely still choose UP over Ateneo. And yeah, because grabe, iba talaga yung character development, and I guess like self-awareness that you get from UP, especially because it's just so liberal. You have to do everything for yourself, and you're forced talaga to mature, diba? I don't know. Yeah, that's my base.
Makes you reflect about things. Kunyari, like, you see people, you're worrying about not being able to buy another beer, and then someone's worrying about not being able to go to class because they don't have pang commute, and it puts you to perspective. Holy shit, my problem is just as fucking small compared to this guy. So why am I worrying about this?
Yeah, or like, not being able to buy the newest set of sneakers or like the freshest set of clothes. And yeah, it's like I had a classmate that was an Aita, like from I think from like the area of Baguio, the mountain provinces, and like he told me like one of his stories of how his dad had to work so hard just to get him to get into UP, and it's just crazy the amount of experiences that you can get just from like meeting different people in UP. So UP naming mahal, baby.
Shout out to UP. Shout
yeah.
out to UP.
Shout out to UP, man. Shout out to CHK.
Shout out
To
to
CHK,
Bronx.
it's a shithole, but it's my shithole, baby. This episode is sponsored by Jade's Temple. Jade's Temple brings you all of the drinks that you've been craving ever since the lockdown arose. Jade's Temple produces a wide variety of cocktails that highlight the unique flavors of the Philippine archipelago, such as the Maya Margarita, Tarsier Martini, and the Pawikan Mojito. They also have their specialty flavored beers, such as the salted caramel, mango, and toasted mallow beers that really brings a unique flavor to the table. Best part is, for my listeners only, you can avail of a 15% discount using promo code ROCKASModernLife. Again, 15% off your next purchase by using our promo code ROCKASModernLife. Order now from Jade's Temple by searching them on Facebook and Instagram or by texting them at 0915-493-3755. That's 0915-493-3755 for Jade's Temple. Enjoy paradise in the comforts of your own home with Jade's Temple. So now that the rough year 2020 is finally over, we can start looking up towards a new, fresh 2021, right? Well, not quite. If there's anything that 2020 taught us, is that our goals and plans for ourselves each year usually don't push through. Every January 1st, we start making personal goals for ourselves that are way out of reach. And this is because we think that just because it's a new year and that we watched a couple of Gary V videos. No, not that Gary V. That we will suddenly turn into some hyper-productive Pinoy version of Elon Musk. I mean, I'm no life coach, but I can certainly tell you that it will not be the case. We have to make sure that our goals are clear and actually attainable. Goals that we can not only envision, but actually achieve throughout the year. But before even doing that, we have to make sure our priorities are established by asking ourselves this one simple question. What really matters to us in our lives? Throughout all of these jobs that you're working right now, throughout the hardships in your life, throughout your experiences in UP, and throughout all of the books that you've read as well, you were able to, kind of be organize and compartmentalize your life in such a way that you can balance out all of these jobs, all of these extra side hustles, all of these physical goals. So I guess I want to ask you, since it is 2021, a new year, as they like to say, new year, new me, baby. What are some tips or for setting goals and crushing them for this 2021?
So yeah, number one siguro is ask yourself why you're doing it. Or personally, ask yourself who that person is that you want to be. Because it becomes your North Star when you know who do you want to be. Everything that you do, people you interact with, they have to be aligned with that. So for me, number one is knowing who you want to be, knowing why you're doing things. So when you have that North Star that guides you through things, yun siguro yung crucial. Kasi the how can always change. Let's say you're doing this podcast, right? You can work on it, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. Pero it can always change. Like the platform that you're using, it can always change. Right now, you're using Zoom, diba? So you don't know whatever it is that can change the how you're doing it, but you know your why you're doing it. So yun yung crucial, like knowing your ideal self and why you're doing things.
So is that like I mean, I think that is like the sole purpose as to how you should be setting your goals. Like how is this gonna make you happier, and how is it gonna make you progress in your life? What about, because time and time again, everybody's making New Year's resolutions with like non-smart goals. It's like, I'm gonna drop 30 pounds, or like not even I'm gonna drop 30 pounds. I'm gonna have abs this year.
Yeah.
Like, it's so vague. Or it's like, I'm gonna make 100,000 pesos this year, and it's like it's not smart. Like, you need to have like was it specific, measurable, attainable realistic and time bound. So
Yep.
that's what I like to do, at least personally, whenever I'm setting their goals. And I guess what would be your tip to kind of get people more realistic and more specific with their goals?
For me, you don't get too attached to the outcome. I mean, it's okay. You write it down. You want to get 100,000. You want to get abs, but you're not super stressed about it that it burns you out. Parang you do the work, continuously doing the work. If it happens by the end of the year, then good for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the fact that you're doing it, you're doing the work because you want to achieve that. Parang you have to let go. Like with me, I was having a hard time closing anyone with FWD or something like that. I was super eager because I just got in. I was super eager to close someone. And the clients could smell that day. Parang, oh shit, this guy's just trying to sell to me. When you just let go, when you're just being natural with it, when you're just doing it. Let's say you're playing baseball, diba? When you're gigil, can you play well? Diba? When you just parang okay, go with the flow. I want to do this, but I'm not super attached to it. Parang you let go of that feeling na gawin talaga dapat. Parang I don't know. It's how I view it siguro.
No, yeah, definitely. And that baseball analogy is perfect. It's like, when you're always thinking of hitting home runs, then you're probably not
Yeah.
gonna hit a home run because you're tense and you're just so focused on the outcome. And I don't know, have you watched the movie Soul? The new Pixar movie
So
Soul?
no, yeah. It's the music
You
one.
Yeah, the music, the jazz one. Wow, dude, you should watch it because there's this one amazing line where it was like an older fish and a younger fish, and then the younger fish was like, I can't wait till I get to be in the ocean. And then the older fish was like, what do you mean? It's like, I can't wait to get to swim in the ocean because we're in the water right now. And then the older fish was like, son, this is the ocean. Although it may not seem like it, this water is the ocean. So it kind of like coincides with that motto that, you got to live every day as it is and
Yep.
can't be so focused on the end goal because it's all about the journey, not the destination. And
Yep.
I don't know, you probably remember this line more per se, but then Kobe said something about the dream, and the dream isn't like winning 5 championships. It's not winning like MVPs, but like it's going up and waking up at practice every day at 4 a.m. And
Yep.
that
True.
is the dream. Just like getting
True.
the reps in,
True.
and I think if you just focus on that, just living, taking it day by day. I mean, as cliche sports post interview as it sounds, taking it day by
Yep.
day, doing your
Live in the
best.
moment. You have to
Live
live
in,
in the moment. Yeah. Like
yeah,
do what you can do best in that moment. You live. You're not too attached to the future, not too attached to the past. Diba? You're just doing it day by day, like the journey in itself. Like you're doing the best at it at that moment. Let's say you're doing crutches or like trying to read something. You're trying to read it as much as you learn as much as you can from it at that moment. And then eventually, magulat ka na lang eh. Parang, oh shit, I achieved this na. You won't even realize it.
yeah, no, and I super agree, man. And yeah, I guess we should move on to the next question, which is, who, friend, family, or personal idol, or what book has influenced you the most in becoming who you are today?
So yeah, for me, of course, number one idol is your Kobe. Kobe for sure. Like seeing him doing that work, like even if he was already Kobe at that time, he was still trying to learn as much from different things, watching videos of like former NBA players, like seeing that he was already the MVP, he was trying to learn pa. So, diba, sino ba ako? I'm just Jico Cruz. I'm not doing anything, I'm not studying. I'm happy with it where I am. So yun siguro, it influenced me. And siguro the book, like what I said a while ago, it's always gonna be my favorite book at any year. Relentless, because I always go back to it. Relentless by Tim Grover, for sure.
Yeah. So you'd say Kobe is the guy, and I guess since he didn't live long enough, unfortunately, to write his own book, Tim Grover, I guess, was like a perfect depiction of what was going in Kobe's head because they had the same mindset, and that's why they had such a good dynamic between the two of them.
Yep, true.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. And I guess we should move on to the next question, which is, and the last question actually for this podcast, which is, what's one word that best describes yourself?
Relentless, for sure.
Definitely
Been going
relentless.
back to it. Been going
But
back to it.
but why though? But why? Let's hear why.
So for me, it's that constant thing. It's like you constantly learn. Like I really want to embody that. Now, it's never enough. You're never enough. It's never gonna be okay. I'm done now. I've accomplished it now. It's never gonna be that. So for me, that's why siguro that one is important for me. Because I saw it like kunyari Nokia or BlackBerry. They were dominating the phone markets, right? For like a long time, and then they stopped learning. They stopped being relentless. Then overtake sila ng mga smartphones, which is iPhone and Androids. So for me, as an entrepreneur, I'm trying to constantly find ways to improve, constantly find ways to expand. So it's like when you accomplish something, it's already fading away. You're on to the next. That's where you achieve greatness, and not in the moment that you win it. But you're only as successful as the moment you're successful in. Like that moment, you're successful. But after that moment, it's done. You're not successful anymore. So you continuously be relentless at trying to improve, trying to move forward. Because if you don't, you're just gonna be forgotten. You're gonna die. It's like stagnant na. So for me, that's the word.
Yeah, and I think I could see it in your work, man. I mean, you have been relentless on everything that you've been doing. You've been balancing a whole lot of jobs and all of that things. And I guess since you love the book Relentless, you love Kobe, you love the word relentless, I guess to end this show, how can you is there any advice or tips that you can give to our listeners on how they could be a little bit more relentless each and every day?
Never be satisfied, siguro. Like, okay, you set a goal for this year. You want abs, diba? So you get 4 pack abs. Why can't you just get 6 in the next year? Right? It's like that constant way, you're not attached to the moment that you achieved it. So you never be satisfied. Siguro is my number one tip to be relentless is when you accomplish something. Like kunyari, with you, if you hit a home run, when you feel good na, when you're done na, okay, yun na yun. Pero why not hit back-to-back home runs for the next game, home runs again? So that that line of never being satisfied, siguro for me is my tip.
Yeah, and I think it's a great tip, and it goes for everything. Whether you're a student, you're a salesman, so like you ace a test, you celebrate it for the day. Go like eat like something special, or if you're a salesman, like you make a big sale, buy yourself something nice at least for that day. But tomorrow it's a new day, and it's time
Different
to
day.
get it's time to get back on that grind because whatever success you had, that was all yesterday, and it's all moving forward from here. All right, so I just want to wrap things up by saying thank you so much for being on the show, my dude. I really learned a lot from you, and I hope all of you listeners learned a thing or two as well from this pod. And I honestly had so much fun talking with you and learning as well. But
Appreciate
before,
you, bro.
of course, man. But before we go, now would be the perfect time for y'all to plug in where people can find you or the businesses or even your personal account if they want to.
So yeah, if you guys need help with anything, if you want books to read or anything you want me to help you with, you can just message me on Instagram at Joseph Cruz or on my Facebook at Joseph Cruz as well. So anything you want to learn, anything you need me of help with, I'm down. I'll just reply one message away. For sure, Rock is gonna do the same for you. So just message him as well. So just message us if you need help or tips with anything.
All right, so you heard it from the man himself, and I guess that about does it. So I want to thank you all listeners for tuning in to another episode of the Rockets Mother Life podcast. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like, hit the share, and that hashtag RML podcast, and hit that follow on all of our platforms so that you never miss an episode. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one. Deuces.
Appreciate you, bro.